Malawi in grip of hackers. That's one of the stories making the Daily Times front page. Good morning. My name is Robert Edward, and I bring you yet another edition of Press Review. I'm not alone in this program today. I'm with my colleague,
Charity Shlaka.
Good morning, Charity.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm okay. Okay, so you're looking classic. I know it's because today is it Robert?
Yeah, it is.
What does that really mean to you?
I don't really know.
You don't know? Like when you say it.
Like I don't know.
You're throwing back. Okay, so I know Faris will be all up in the spirits when it comes to comedy, like praying songs of the of the past. Okay. Can you just tell me the song that you used to listen to in the past? But I think when they pray it, you'll be like, they're throwing back. Wow. Alright, so she will be taking you through the Nation Publications newspaper, and then I start with the story that I just introduced. The sub-headline: Demand ransom in passport glitch. We will not pay them, Chakwera. The digital mercenaries have infiltrated Malawi's passport printing system and are demanding an unspecified ransom payout, a development that has resulted in the suspension of issuers of passports. President Lazarus Chakwera disclosed this in Parliament yesterday when responding to concerns listed by Luntha City South Legislator Samia Suleiman when he contributed to the State of the National address delivered on January 9th.
All right.
We are under attack.
Okay, government to act on Ombudsman's AIP report, and partly the story says Minister of Agriculture says it will act on the Office of the Ombudsman report highlighting acts of malpractices in the Affordable Imports Program AIP. In an interview yesterday, Minister of Agriculture Sam Kawale said they will await the full report from the Ombudsman to act on it.
Wow. And we are going to the next page of the Daily Times. A story by Rebecca Jinjika. Judge cautions state in Kabambe Matanga case. High Court Judge Redson Kabindu has advised the state to be serious and avoid wasting time in a case involving former Reserve Bank of Malawi RBM Governor Kabambe and former Deputy Governor Henry Matanga. The two are accused of misreporting Malawi's net international reserves and gross reserve liability to International Monetary Fund during the period spanning 2018 to 2019.
Alright, Kayuni to others testifying to Saleh case. A former Director of Public Prosecutions DPP Stephen Kayuni, alongside Anti-Corruption Bureau SCB Deputy Director General Hilary Shilomba yesterday, testified against former presidential aide Noman Chisale, who is accused of intimidating public officers and obstructing justice. Kayuni told the Lilongwe Principal Resident Magistrates Court that Chisale threatened him through an interview aired on Zodiac Broadcasting Station ZBS 3 months ago.
So Kayuni has finally come out. All right, Dr. Steve Kayuni, and I think yesterday we had really interesting cases in the Lilongwe. And on the 50th page, I think before we move on to the business, I'm having this Mangoji residents petition Chakwera want him to intervene in border saga. Okay, concern residents of traditional authority Maganjira's area in Mangoji have asked President Lazarus Chakwera to intervene in a border dispute between Malawi and Mozambique. The disagreements have been raging for years, even though some progress to resolve it once appeared to have been made. Now, the residents want the president to quickly engage the Mozambican counterpart to resolve the dispute, which they say is affecting their livelihoods. The petition states that since the border redemarcation took place between 2008 and 2010, people from villages that were affected by the exercise are being victimized by Mozambican security forces.
Alright, moving on to the business segment of the Nation newspaper. AFDB questions on monetary policy highlights potential risks for African economies. And part of the story says raising interest rates in African countries such as Malawi may have limited success in containing or reducing inflation because most countries on the continent face supply-side shocks, a report from the African Development Bank AFDB shows. In the January 2024 issue of Africa's Macroeconomic Performance and Outlook released last week, the Continental Bank noted that inflation remained elevated in some African countries, despite central banks imposing high interest rates.
And a similar story in the Times business page, markets underestimate risk of inflation escalating. I think it's a little bit opposite to that. Yeah. And because we've talked about the inflation already, I would deliberately jump to gold not for sale. Chaguera. President Chaguera has reiterated that the gold that is of Bank of Malawi has procured will not be sold but purified and used as reserves. Chaguera said this when he took time to respond to questions posed by Member of Parliament yesterday, particularly question 5 from Zomba Central Legislator Sylvester Awali.
Alright, FDH Bank Innovator signed an agreement for TVET graduates. So the technical, entrepreneurial and vocational education training TVET graduates will have an opportunity to become entrepreneurs without the stress of providing collateral to access start-up loans. This follows a memorandum of understanding MOU between FDH Bank PLC and TVET Authority Tavaita, in which the bank will be providing the loans.
Right, and I think we should be moving on to arts and culture, or I know you want to go to international first, but I think
have international.
You don't have international. I have one though. Okay. So you go to arts and culture. As I take this story, Israel airstrike kills 2 in Syria. An Israeli airstrike hit a residential building in the Kafra Assad district in Syria's capital, Damascus, yesterday, killing 2 people. Syrian state media and a security source said. A military source cited by Syrian state TV said the strike at about 0640 GMT, that's to 7, that's 06 to 40, that's the time, GMT, wounded a number of other people, identifying the dead as civilians. Okay, so like really was yesterday I took time to watch this story on the Israel-Palestinian war, and so there was Al Jazeera and BBC, and so BBC had to do a story to say 2 hostages have been rescued. All right. So hostages, Israeli hostages who have been held hostage by the Hamas have been rescued. All right. But in the process of rescuing them, at least some other people have died, including children and something like that. And then when I turned on to Al Jazeera, it was the same story, but Al Jazeera never mentioned about the rescue. They said they talked about the people who have died. So the story was just about was it different? I was like, wow, these guys, wow. So we should go to Arts and Culture.
Arts and Culture, 30 schools to Tanzania in French drama contest. About 30 schools will over the weekend show their drama in French language skills in the regional contest of the 34th version of the National French Drama Competition. In an interview on Tuesday, the competition national coordinator Poya Chapetega, who is also director of French language studies at the Jacaranda Culture Center, JCC, said 6 teams, 2 from each region, will book their slots in the national finals slated for March 9, 2024 in Grandia.
And Meras to read Ngoni at Ntwara. That this is, I think that's the Zulu name. Yeah. And we have Miss University Malawi Queen to star at Miss University Africa. Wow, that's great. And another one, breathing life to creative sector. I'll take a little bit of this one. In an effort aimed at meeting the needs of the creative sector and so developing the School of Arts, Communication and Design in the University of Malawi, UNIMA, in Zomba has introduced 6 new undergraduate Bachelor of Art degrees. Yeah, so we are going academic.
Alright, moving on to the very, very back page of the Nation newspaper. That's
Okay.
local sports. FAM sets affiliation requirement for coaches. The Football Association of Malawi, FAM, has directed that only National Football Coaches Association, NFCA, paid up members should coach in the country's top flight and lower leagues. FAM President Fleetwood Haiya made the directive on Tuesday during the opening of a 2-day refresher course for Super League coaches at the Mubela village in Juembe Township, Luntha.
Alright, directives and policy directions that are made by people in a specific discipline. If they do not make sense to the layman or people who do not really understand the technicality of that specific discipline, I really sometimes have a reason to start questioning them. Because I think this higher guy, he was hyped up, yeah? I'm yet to really see something. and as I said in those days, I said, as long as Frames is winning, he is doing his job. Whatever he can speak to us if Frames is losing, nah. So Castel Party hikes sponsorship to 400 million from 320 million. Castel Challenge Cup sponsors Castel Malawi have set the hype for the 2024 season after increasing sponsorship to 400 million from 320 million. Castel Managing Director Thomas Reinhardt announced the increase yesterday at the Malawi's hotel in Blantyre during a once gala.
Alright, international sports. Mbappe agrees to join Real Madrid. Paris Saint-Germain PSG striker Mbappe has agreed to join Real Madrid this summer. The France captain, 25, has told PSG he intends to leave the club with his contract expiring in June.
Wow. Wow. So I think we have already talked about the throwing back.
Yes. Thirsty.
Okay, so I think you're being a little bit unfair here.
Wow.
You were supposed to ask me what is my. Okay, I'm not trying to get your attention. Okay. Yeah, that was ask me what is the song that I like.
What is it?
Okay, so I have this Alan Namoko song. Okay, I don't think it has a video.
You don't think so? You don't think it has a video?
No, I tried. I listen to it when I'm driving, and I try using YouTube. So I'm streaming, and then I don't find it's just like some Malawian flag there. I think they don't have the video.
I better buy it, guys.
Yes, it has. Oh yeah. But it's not a Malawian song.
Yeah, it's not.
We have to deport you to Zambia.
Oh,
On that note, even with me, Robert Edward, and my colleague,
Charity Tilaga.
oh, you'll not see her again. She'll be deported to Zambia. She loves Zambia. So many thanks to Mr. Kwakwa, who was on the machine. Stand by for the news at 10 o'clock and keep watching Luntha Television.